I'm about to show you guys my first ever winning product that actually ended up generating me around $250,000 within my first 6 months doing Shopify dropshipping. But instead of just showing you the product that I did well with, I'm actually going to go even farther and actually pull you guys onto my computer and show you guys the exact step-by-step process that it took me to reach $0 to $250,000 in sales. Before we dive right all into it though, I just want to let you guys know that I will be giving away 2 or 3 100% free consultation calls that you guys will be able to take advantage of, ask me questions, and I'll just respond to the best of my ability and try to help you guys out in your situation. All you guys need to do in order to win these calls is just make sure you're subscribed to the channel, left a like on this video, and also drop down hashtag dropshipping in the comments below. If we're moving on now, as you guys can see right in front of my face, we actually have a tennis bracelet on screen, and believe it or not, this was actually my first ever winning product. This was a super simple product to sell and just start out with because all we needed to get down was just the aesthetic and the offer. So as long as our product looked good on Instagram and was branded on Instagram and looked good on our website and on our ads, and we just made it look aesthetically appealing and just had a great unbeatable offer that no other dropshipping business could really beat at the time, then we'd be set. It's just super easy to make sales. Jewelry is actually one of the #1 easiest niches to get in when you are starting dropshipping. Also, we are actually selling these bracelets in 3 separate variations or colors. We are actually selling the white gold, the gold, and then the actual rose gold variants of these bracelets, which actually all proved to work very, very well. Having variants for this kind of jewelry is very, very essential because not everyone likes to just rock a gold piece. Some people like white gold, and actually, believe it or not, since I'm still kind of in this industry, white gold is one of the more popular variants nowadays. Also, something else you might want to keep in mind is that we are actually running a free plus shipping offer. At the time, those tennis bracelets only cost me $1 or $2 to actually sell, when nowadays they'll cost me a little bit over $3 to actually sell. But back then it was a little bit easier to sell them before the prices actually raised, because we had a $2 price point and we were selling them on our website with a free plus shipping offer where the shipping cost was around $16.53 and the actual product cost was just 100% free. And for all you new beginners out there, what I actually mean by free plus shipping is essentially customers would just see the product listed as free on your website, and then they'd actually go through the checkout and they'd finally get to the shipping options, and they'd actually see that they'll need to pay a certain amount for shipping. And this actually proved to work out really well, even though against popular belief, a lot of people say that free plus shipping offers are dead, but clearly they're not, because it worked out for me. And believe it or not, actually on the first few days that I actually launched my ads on only $30 a day ad spend, so we just launched 3 ad sets for $10 a day, we actually ended up generating $41, which actually proved to be profitable because if you think about it, we were buying 4 bracelets at $2 a piece. That was $8. We spent around $30 on ads. That's a total cost of $38, and we did $41.85. So from right here, as soon as I made that, $3.85 or whatever it is, I knew that I would be rich. No, in all seriousness here, I was still really, really skeptical just because we'd only made $3.85 in profit the first day. But it was only the first day. I really didn't know what I was getting into to begin with. So then, these kind of sales went on for the next week. We kept the same ads on that were just $30 a day. But if we actually go from October 17th to the 23rd, the whole first week, we actually did a pretty decent amount. There was obviously one day where we didn't get any sales at all. And this is actually why I tell you guys who are getting into dropshipping and you don't have an income source, don't do it. First, find a job. Find something that's actually going to cushion your bank account when you have these terrible days that just, are going to really discourage you and you just see money leaving your account for pretty much no reason because you made no conversions. But as you guys can see, we did $352 for the first week. And then if we go on from the 17th to the 31st, we actually did a whole $651, with our last day of that being $150. So you might be asking yourself what actually happened in between these few days that I went from, $14, some $40 days to $150 a day. And that was actually just because of the fact that before this, on October 30th, I actually watched my first Shopify dropshipping course. What I tried to do is I tried to save up all the money that I actually generated within the first, half month of actually dropshipping and actually go ahead and buy a course. Because in reality, I was still a beginner and I had no idea what I was doing when it came to Facebook ads. Sure, I was making sales. Sure, I had 3 ad sets up, which I actually thought that was a lot of ad sets to have up at $10 a day. I thought that was a lot of money at the time. But in reality, I never knew the scale that it would actually get to in just a matter of 6 months. The only thing I did know is I knew that my ads were performing at least decently well at this $30 a day mark. And I knew if I bought that course and actually used it to scale, it would definitely benefit me in the long run. I literally went through this course all in one single night. It took me like 8 hours, and I actually completed it. And then on this next day, October 31st, we actually ended up starting to scale with our Facebook ads. So our whole first month of dropshipping, we only did $650. And then our whole second month, we actually ended up doing $5,500, which I thought was a lot of money to me at the time. But little did I know, I had no profit or accounting apps on my store. So we just ended up kind of just using all this money. Maybe like $500 of this, $1,000 of this was profit, if that. But at the time, I was very, very happy with my results here. And then we actually move on to December, where we actually ended up doing $8,500 in sales, which wasn't too bad. It was a little bit of a step up from the last month and then the last month before that. But I was still nowhere near happy or where I actually wanted to be. But we ended up doing around double the conversions as we did in November, sitting at only around 225. So we doubled our conversions and we did a little bit more money, which was just overall just really, really good. But then if we actually move on to my first ever big, huge month that was kind of life-changing on Shopify, it was January, where we actually ended up doing $53,000 in sales. This type of money at the time was absolutely insane to me. I had just made, maybe about $20,000 in profit, and I was just super ecstatic because I had never made this amount of money in my life. The most amount of money before this that I ever made was probably around $4,000, and to make $20,000 in one single month was just mind-blowing to me. I did not think it was possible. Now, if we fast forward once again, from January 1st to around May-ish is when my store started to die off. You'll actually see we did a decent amount of money in revenue just between those months. And then accounting for, December, November, October, we did around $250,000 in Shopify sales. And then this went on for pretty much as long as I've showed you till the end of May. And then as you guys can see towards June is when our store really started to die. This was when our supplier pretty much changed the costs of our products and we kind of got screwed over. This was our last $2,000 day on this store, and from there it was just all downhill to just a few $100s a day. So yeah, I made a bunch of money on this e-com store, and it was pretty much a pivotal couple of months that really, really changed my life for good. I'm gonna get into a little bit of a few questions that I always get on my Instagram, and obviously the first one is, how did you do it? So I always advertise my product as free. As soon as I found that was like a potential offer that we could be using, the whole point was just advertise the product for free, get as many visitors to the website, and then retarget them with more, substantial offers. Obviously, I tested with a very small budget on Facebook ads. I didn't go ham in the beginning. I was only spending $30 a day. But this was kind of back then when you actually could spend $30 a day on Facebook and actually get decent results. Nowadays, it's not really possible. I'd say at least start out with 50, at least 50, if that. And then eventually towards January, when you saw that huge spike in revenue where we went from $8,000 to $53,000, what I actually did was I actually moved into large budget and just heavy hitting CBO campaigns that spent, a couple $100s pretty much per day. And then obviously throughout this whole period in time, I was not wasting my time. I was making sure that I was posting my social media feeds every day and overall just building a brand out of this website. Obviously it ended up dying, but not for any of the reasons that, normally a store would die for. I actually might go back and actually start running this again because our product prices doubled or maybe even tripled back then. I can't really remember. And nowadays to see it back at $3, it might actually be worth a shot. So I definitely actually recommend maybe some of you guys try out this kind of store. A lot of people also ask me, why did this store work, or why would a specific store work in some cases? And this store particularly worked out just because it had a unique offer. Not many people were really doing free plus shipping jewelry offers at that time. It wasn't until about a year later that started becoming really, really popular. Also, a bunch of people have also seen a bunch of free stuff on Instagram, which kind of makes it a little bit oversaturated or an oversaturated offer. But in this case, this product was pretty trendy and has and holds like a really high perceived value in many cases. So I believe that's kind of why it worked. If you really think about it, tennis bracelets can range anywhere from $20 to like $20,000. So realistically, you could be anywhere in the middle and your product will probably sell. And when it came to targeting on Facebook, I was targeting hypebeast clothing, sneaker brands, complex news and world star hip hop type media outlets, and even things like Target and Walmart started to work for me just because of the broad appeal that this product actually had. But now we're actually gonna get into the very last part of this video, which is actually the things that I did wrong when it came to this website and what led up to it actually dying out and our product prices increasing and just a whole bunch of other things. So obviously the first thing is I didn't find a good solid supplier. I never actually moved off of AliExpress when it came to this store. I was just only fulfilling off AliExpress, which was kind of disappointing. That was honestly the main reason that the store really, really died. But also I didn't test types of offers and different formats of ads and just different ad creatives as a whole. It just wasn't something that crossed my mind at the time. I was just running up a bag, trying to make as much money as possible really, really quickly. and it kind of all came down crashing, which is kind of what I paid for. Also, another thing I didn't use was actually influencer marketing. I did maybe one influencer post that I mentioned earlier on in this video, and after that I just kind of stopped with it just because that offer just didn't technically work out. It wasn't profitable. I thought, you know, influencer marketing, not for me. I wish I actually got into influencer marketing because honestly, in the past year, I've done really crazy numbers with influencers, but nowadays, I guess it's a little different. I guess I know a little bit more. We actually had over 100,000 email subscribers, and not once did I ever send out an email blast. This is something I definitely regret doing because we definitely could still probably be using this email list nowadays just to sell our jewelry, but it's a little bit unfortunate. In the end, it all worked out. I actually ended up using the money that I made from this business to start up a brand new one that's been running for 2 years plus now, so that's really cool. But honestly, I really do miss this store. I wish I could possibly revive it. This store was my baby, man. It was my first store that really ever made me a bunch of money. I'm so happy that I actually went ahead and opened up the Shopify store just to look at it about a few weeks ago. I had the store closed for like years, and I just finally opened it about, you know, a month ago. Started testing a few offers here and there, and it's sort of starting to do good, but nothing's near profitable. But anyways, guys, if you guys are interested in seeing any more videos from me, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, drop a like on this video, and also don't forget about the free consultation call that I will be giving away. If you're just here and you're seeing this, just drop down #dropshipping in the comments below. It'll help me out in the YouTube algorithm, and you know, you might get a call from me. Why not? Let's do it. Anyways, guys, have a great rest of your day. Peace.